Welcome back. Rain washed out the entire ninth day of the US Open on Tuesday, leaving organisers with a backlog of matches and the forecast of more bad weather in the days ahead. Persistent showers delayed the start of play at Flushing Meadows for almost 3 hours, and the prediction of more storms convinced tournament officials to cancel the whole day. Tuesday's schedule had included the remaining 4 men's fourth-round clashes, featuring Rafa Nadal and Andy Murray, and the first 2 women's quarterfinals, while Wednesday's initial schedule featured 2 men's and 2 women's quarterfinals. Reliable experience was axed for youthful flair today when New Zealand coach Graham Henry selected Israel Dagg at fullback in place of Mils Muliana for the All Blacks Rugby World Cup opener against Tonga. Whether or not to select the 31-year-old Muliana for Friday's opening Pool A clash at Eden Park had been the chief talking point in New Zealand this week, and Henry opted to go with the Hawke's Bay fullback despite his lack of matches. Dagg had been tipped to replace Muliana after the superb return to top-class rugby against South Africa in Port Elizabeth last month following a series of injuries. Captain Richie McCaw will earn his 99th Test cap at Eden Park and move ahead of Muliana in the race to be the first All Blacks player to achieve the 100 Test milestone.
I think Israel has done something remarkable. You know, he's overcome a major leg injury to play in South Africa. Quite frankly, the selectors didn't think he would make it. We were hoping he would make it. We've got a huge amount of respect for the boy and what he's done. But that was a one-off, and now he knows that he's up for potential selection in the top team. So that puts extra pressure, and how is he going to handle that?
The Australian Rugby Union squad was welcomed to Auckland on Tuesday, fresh from their triumph over New Zealand to win the Tri-Nations tournament. The players received an official welcome in their caps for the World Cup tournament beginning on Friday. The Australians are in Pool C with Ireland, Italy, USA and Russia and play their first match against the Italians in Auckland on Sunday. In that opener, Australia coach Robbie Deans, himself a New Zealander and a former All Black, has decided to stick with the team that won the Tri-Nations. Goal kicker James O'Connor was named on the bench after serving a 1-game suspension for indiscipline and is one of 3 changes to the replacements. At a news conference, Deans talked about not opening the World Cup with O'Connor.
I guess, it's a bit like injuries. People look at injuries and a lot of time is spent talking about people who aren't available to you. But the game isn't about that. The game is about the people who are available to you and those that are lucky enough to get the opportunity. And most players don't waste those opportunities when they're presented with them. And that's the key, make the most of the time that you've got.
And Tonga was officially welcomed to the Rugby World Cup with a traditional ceremony, and a huge number of Tongan supporters turned out at the city's airport to welcome the Pacific Island nation to the tournament. Tonga faced New Zealand in the tournament's opening match in Auckland on Friday. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is in the midst of promoting his upcoming fight with Victor Ortiz, is finding it difficult to keep Manny Pacquiao out of the conversation. Mayweather will face Ortiz in a 12-round bout for Ortiz's WBC welterweight title on September 17, but questions about a future showdown with Pacquiao keep resurfacing. Manny Pacquiao had reportedly agreed to fight Mayweather on March 13 in 2010 for a split of $50 million. However, the fight was called off due to disagreements about Olympic-style drug testing. Mayweather's camp wanted blood tests by the United States Anti-Doping Agency, which conduct the tests any time from training up to the fight date. Initially, the Pacquiao camp refused to provide these samples, only willing to allow blood to be taken if the tests were scheduled, with a no-test window prior to the day of the fight.
It's about being clean, so I'm being the first to step up to show the world that Floyd Mayweather is a clean athlete. Floyd Mayweather, for everybody that's listening, I'm not ducking or dodging no opponents. Any opponent that faces Floyd Mayweather, the same thing happened for the Mosley fight. So I'm not just picking on certain fighters. This goes for every fighter that's facing Floyd Mayweather.
Meanwhile, aspiring vocalist Manny Pacquiao sang a duet on Tuesday with Dan Hill. The two were opening a press conference to promote the boxer's defence of his WBO welterweight championship on Saturday, November 12 in Las Vegas against Mexico's Juan Manuel Marquez. And finally, in the Tour of Spain, Argentina's Juan José Haedo won stage 16 on Tuesday in a bunch sprint as Spaniard Cobo retained the overall lead of La Vuelta. Italy's Alessandro Petacci finished second on the flat stage, with Daniele Bonatti, also of Italy, in third. After taking the lead on Sunday's summit finish, Cobo remained in control of the overall classification. And finally this evening, the future's so bright that most people will have to wear shades, based on the behind-the-scenes look at what designers plan to show in their Spring-Summer 2012 collections at Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week in New York, which will open on Thursday. New York-based fashion editors and designers said bright pink with orange and gold metallics will define the season. The style outlook looks optimistic, despite the US unemployment rate hovering at 9%, while the demand for luxury goods from Asia, especially China, is rising. More designers from Asian countries are also presenting their collections in New York, with a concept Korea show among them. Even the venue sported a new look with a sleek grey facade for the Lincoln Center tents, where New York Fashion Week will run from September the 8th to the 15th.
There'll be 99 shows here over the week, 16 brand new designers, so we're thrilled to have new designers coming into the event. Part of the reason for the move to Lincoln Center for Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week was to open the venue up to more designers, newer designers, younger designers who are just getting their start, and this new venue with the added space allows us to do that.
And now let's take a look at the local and international weather forecast for tomorrow. Before we head out, here are the top stories again. Deputy ruler of Dubai hosts exceptional meeting of the Council of Arab Ministers. The General Civil Aviation Authority launches awareness campaign. And floods in South Pakistan kill at least 132 people. Well, that brings us to the end of the bulletin. If you would like to get in touch with us, you can contact us at news@city7tv.com or by calling us on 04367 2230. But from the entire news team, it's goodbye for now.